Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with another video. I'm trying to get as much in as I can. Um, I'm gonna deal with a couple of issues today. Uh, so it's not gonna be a straightforward video. I'm gonna try to cover as much as I can in the amount of time I have. I plan on putting this flat Earth map up for download. So if anyone wants to download it, they can. I'm still in the progress of working on it, but it'll give you an illustration of what the Earth really looks like and what we're standing on. All right. So first, before we get to this, let's deal with a couple of things. Let's deal with flight times. Here are some flight times from Los Angeles to California. I mean, Los Angeles to New York. And here you see it is 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours long. When you look at it coming from New York to California, it's only an hour difference. And if the Earth spins at 1,080 miles per hour, this would be absolutely impossible because airplanes only travel at 450 miles per hour. So I want you guys to look at that. Now I'm going to quickly move past that because I don't really have that much time to cover on it. Maybe I'll make a video just for this alone. All right. Now, moving past that. All right. Now, here's the flight paths. Okay. So now when we look at flight paths, now we see this is a map, right? And you lay it down on a table, it's flat. The map, the piece of paper I'm talking about, they flattened it out so you can see. But now, when you look at the flight paths, these curve. And I want you to see here, these are all curved. Why would they have a curved lines on a flat map? The reason is because they're not on a ball, but what happens is, let's go down here. What happens is these airplanes, as you can see right here, you can't travel in an airplane without having GPS. So you need GPS to go anywhere. And the GPS is always locked on the North Pole. This is the north, the true north right here. Okay, so when the airplanes fly, they think they're flying in a straight path. The pilots I'm talking about, and the passengers on the plane, but they're actually the GPS, and that's why I drew a line here, is linked to the true north. So when they fly, they're actually flying in a circular motion. They're moving around like such. Okay, so giving the impression that they're actually going in a circular in around a globe when they're actually just moving around in a circle. Okay, so that's important. All right, so now these are flight paths. So I kind of want to move past this really quick, but I wanted you guys to really see that if you look at all of these paths, they're always curved. Okay, they're always curved, and they always say the reason is because we're on a globe. But if we're on a globe, then you draw it on a globe. But since the image that we're looking at is flat, you would draw it flat. Okay, because the shortest point from from A to B is a straight line, not a curve. And that's what we're going to deal with here. When we see rocket launches, when they go up, they don't go up in a straight line, they actually curve. Okay, and when they curve, they're curving because they're not going into space. They're actually going out into the middle of the ocean. They're going to a remote island. Who knows? But they never go straight up. They always tilt a little. Okay? And, I mean, here you can see. It's tilting. It's tilting because they can't go past the firmament, which is at the very top of the sky. It's what they call a glass ceiling. I mean, you could see it right here. Rocket blast off. It's curving. It's not going into space because the shortest distance would be straight up, a straight line, not a curve. Everyone knows that. Okay, so we move past. Now let's take a look. Yeah. Now this is a rocket launch from an airplane. Now someone's recording this. Now see this? 6 million views. Everyone's impressed. Right? But uh-oh, it's starting to curve. Look at that. It's not going straight into space. Let's take a look. It's not going into space at all. It's curving. Now it's making almost a full 90-degree curve, 90-degree turn. because they can't go higher than 80 kilometers because they know there's a glass ceiling up there. They know that. And that's why it curves. Okay, so we'll move past that. All right, so now, okay, let's go back to the illustration here. All right, so now we have these airplanes here. Okay, and we have, get rid of that. Get rid of these two things here. I don't know where they came from, but we'll deal with that later. All right, so now let's move around here. Now we got the airplanes. We have our cell towers. Let's go up higher a little bit. All right, so we have the sun here. Okay, and let's move over here. Now where's my rocket? Where's my rocket? Here we go. Here's my rocket right here. All right, now the rocket, you can see it's tilting. Okay, and the reason for that is because if we're on a globe and you're trying to get to space, right? Space would be straight up. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom out. Let's get out of here, right? So you guys get a bigger picture. So, okay, now that's the rocket launch, right? Right there. And all right, let's move back here. All right, this rocket is tilting. Now, if the rocket was trying to go into space, it would literally go straight up because space is up here. And maybe what I'll do next time is I'll make the space a little bit different. I tried to just throw something together real quick so you guys can see. But here goes space. If the rocket is trying to get into space, right? Here we go. It's trying to get into space. It will go straight up. It wouldn't tilt and come back down on a 90-degree angle. That makes no sense at all. So, that's something you guys really need to look at. You really need to think about. Now, I wanted to deal with that, but I kind of want to move past that too. Now, let's get past that really quick. Now, let's talk about flashlights, right? Because the light from the stars, actually, we'll come back to that. The light from the stars, these galaxies here would, if there's any galaxies in space, which I don't believe they exist, but any stars that are in the foreground would obscure the light that's coming from the stars in the background. So when you look here and you see, if you're down on the ground and you got a telescope, you're down here somewhere, right? Okay, you're this guy. You're these two douchebags right here, and you're looking up, and you're looking up, and you want to see, you want to look at the stars, right? And you got yourself a telescope. All right. These stars in the foreground will get in the way from you seeing the stars in the background. Just as if you had this blue line is your line of sight. You will not be able to see trillions of light years in the background. It would be impossible. Okay? So anytime they show you light or stars coming from, the beginning of the universe, 13 billion years old, that's not real. Okay, it would be impossible if there's trillions of stars in space. Okay, now, and just like we see this little boy here, if you were the globe staring at the flashlight, you wouldn't be able to see the stuff in the background because the light would blind you. It would obscure your vision. Okay, so I just kind of wanted you to see that. Even the light from the moon, just from whatever, it would blind you. Okay, so you can kind of see here, just like you can only see her face, you can't really see what's behind her. Okay, so that's also something to think about. Just like here, he's holding the flashlight to you. You can't see him in the background because the light in the foreground is getting in your way. Okay, So now let's get past this really quick. We'll deal with that on another video. Now here we're dealing with GPS, right? Global positioning systems, or global positioning so-called satellites, right? What they do is they use, number one, they use cell towers, right? They use cell towers to triangulate your location. So if you're standing somewhere, if you're over here by, let's say you're over here by Walmart, there'll be 3 cell towers, which I should have put up. There'll be 3 cell towers, and they will bounce and send your location, and it will tell you exactly where you are. Okay, so you're thinking there's satellites in space. There isn't. And a lot of times, for them to determine the weather, they bounce radio waves off of the clouds. And that's how they know how far the clouds are away, because of the frequency when it bounces back. When the radio wave, they send it out, they send out a frequency, and they determine how long it takes for the frequency to come back. That's how they're able to determine the weather. So, you know, that's how they do there. Okay, so let's go here. Let's take a look. All right. Now, of course, this is a flat Earth map. I dealt with this in the other videos. This is the ice wall. And of course, you know, over time, I'll build it up and hopefully you guys will see. But let me move down here real quick. Let's go back. Now, let's talk about GPS. The design of GPS is based partially on a similar ground-based radio navigation system such as Loran and the Decca Navigator, developed in the early 1940s and used by the British Royal Navy during World War II. So this technology essentially has been out since the 1940s. It's nothing new. So people think their iPhones are new and everything's new. It's really old. Okay, they've had this for a long time, and it's really not complicated. They make it appear to be complicated, but it's really not. And so, you know, that's one thing that we need to look at. And okay, so, you know, and again, if the Earth was really a ball, right? They never account for the curvature when they're building a structure. They never account for any curvature. It's always flat. Okay, I know I'm in architecture. They never account for any curve at all. Okay, so where's the curve at? It's like it's almost like you can't measure it. You can't find it. Okay, so you know, I mean, it's just a bunch of BS. You know, so I mean, again, I try to cover as much as I can in this, but I want to make this a virtual map where everyone can download it, kind of get an understanding, and teach others and show others how it really is. I mean, here we have the sun, and the sun is lower than the moon, and the sun isn't really that big. And the reason why you really can't measure the sun, because the diameter of the sun, because you can't measure light. You can't measure the diameter of light, because light fluctuates, so you can't really measure that. You can measure the diameter of a moon, because a moon is a solid sphere. But just because the moon is a sphere does not mean that the Earth is a sphere. Doesn't mean it's a ball. Okay, and so that's something else that we need to pay attention to. So, you know, again, if we live on a ball, I have to see some real evidence behind it, and I have not seen any. Because personally, I don't think we live on a ball at all. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put this up for download. You know, if you guys want to download it, hopefully they'll let me put it up, and you guys will be able to download it and tweak it any kind of way you like. I'm still working on it, so it'll be a couple months before I get it really where I want to do. But I have to make these videos now, and kind of get them out there so you guys can see. You know, so hopefully, you know, you guys will be able to do what you want with it. All right, so I'll be making another video. I'm still working on it. This time I'm gonna kind of take a different approach, but I'll have a better virtual map for you guys. Flat Earth virtual map. All right, have a good day, guys.